well for CBTV's Back Talk. Today we'll be talking about two topics, including the World Cup and the All-Star rule. Whoever wins the All-Star game gets home field advantage in the World Series. First, I'll introduce my guests, Jake Sweeka, Jimmy Myers, and Seth. So first, let's get into the World Cup. So, is your opinion on that wild yellow card-filled game? Do you think that if the Netherlands had managed to stay with 11 men instead of getting red carded, that they would have had a better chance to win the game?
I think they would have, but they would have been blown out if they had not been so physical. Because I think Spain is a much better team, but if Netherlands isn't physical, then they can't win.
It's a matter of styles. You're talking about two different styles. It's like in boxing where they say that styles make a fight. Whether you're a slugger to a boxer to a slugger, and so forth. I would say that Spain is more along the lines of Brazil. They play a wide open game. They flow from the wings, they keep the pressure on. What people keep forgetting is if you watch that game, and I watched it several times since then, Spain dominated field position in that game. They had the ball in the Netherlands end the whole afternoon, and after a while, it wears you down. The Netherlands had two chances on breakaways to score and didn't. So the game becomes tighter. Now, all the yellow cards, like you mentioned, that's a very good point, because every time Spain would start to roll, they grab somebody and they take a yellow card just to slow down the momentum. You got to stop the play, start all over again. That is huge. That kept the game scoreless. See, if they flow and they keep playing, Spain might have won that thing like 2 or 3-0, maybe more, in my opinion. I just think that Spain was the better team, and the Netherlands played a style, the only style they felt they could have played to win the game, and it didn't work.
I agree with Jake and Jimmy. Jake said that that was the Netherlands style of play. If the Netherlands did not do that, they wouldn't have as good of a chance to win, that's what he said. And I also think that if the Netherlands didn't do that, that messes up their game plan, because Spain was more of a Spain had more finesse, speed, and finesse, and they attacked more.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way for the Netherlands to cope with what was happening was to play that style of pushing and physicality.
And also remember, the yellow card that turned to the red card, it was for a grab in the box. It could have been called a penalty shot. Then the player turns around and starts arguing with the referee and got himself thrown out of the game. Remember, people don't get red cards and get tossed out of a World Cup final unless they are way over the line. The ref was tired of it. He had seen it all afternoon and said, look, we'll be out here forever if we're going to play like this. And when he called it, he turned around and walked away from Jay, and he kept going at him. Boom, now you got to play with 10, like you said. There was no way they were going to win with 10.
Okay, but on my quick opinion, before we go on to our next topic. First, as you said, Spain is a much more attacking style. They want to get the ball up to midfielders and attackers, per David Villa, Xavi, and Xavi Alonso. And a red card per Zinedine Zidane, over-aggressive. In my opinion, Netherlands should have been down to 10 men within the first 20 minutes. The guy cleated him in the stomach.
Yep, and they let it go.
And when you saw the replay, you just saw how vicious it was.
He jumped up in the air and cleated this guy. He could have in the chest. He could have seriously injured this guy.
Yeah. Anyways, so I felt that the Netherlands were a much stronger midfielding team on the defensive side, with players like Van Bronckhorst and Van Persie and Arjen Robben. So eventually, I think Spain had too much of an advantage to be overcome by the Netherlands.
So let's just talk like it's a football game for just a second, and I want you to break this down for me, okay? Field position is the most important thing. Spain dominated field position the whole game. That game was played in the Netherlands end the whole game, just about. I don't think the Netherlands had 6 good attacking attempts. Even when they transitioned, Spain got it right back on them. They kept pressure on them. What'd you think? When you watched it?
I agreed. I think Spain had the complete attacking end and the attacking third at least 60% of the time.
Yep.
So.